What's going on, family and friends? I am your host, Terrence Manning. This is My Thoughts Uncut. We're going to talk about Gavin Newsom. Yes, Mr. Gavin Newsom, one of the worst governors in the history. He had a Meet the Press exclusive interview. Yeah, he is definitely diagnosed with Trump syndrome. Let's take a look.
Let's talk a little bit about your future, the future of the Democratic Party. You have been very clear that, yes, you are considering a potential run for president in 2028. I think it's fair to say that anyone who decides to run in 2028, including former President Biden's surrogates, are going to have to answer questions about what they did and what they said in 2024 around President Biden's presidency. You stood by him till the end after that disastrous debate performance, even when top Democrats were calling for him to step down. Did you ever have concerns, Governor, about his capacity to serve another 4 years?
No, I never had that direct. I just talked to the president a few hours ago. I've been privileged to have a relationship with the president. I spent almost 2 hours with him in December, right before, during the transition.
Friends and family, if this man can't be honest and say that, yes, it's clear that Biden basically is not the same as he was years ago. And, he shouldn't have been president. If he can't say that, if he says he looks like normal, then this man can't lead anybody. You can't trust someone like this. Biden is out of office. You can finally tell the truth and be like, hey, I did see some things, but I was loyal. That's it. Just be honest. This is not the same political stadium like it was before. Trump has changed that. He's honest. He's honest with his flaws, his mistakes. He's honest about his jokes. He's honest. So just be honest about it. If you want to win, Democrats, you're gonna have to start being honest to the American people. This crap right here, not gonna work.
In the Oval Office. And my experience, his expression, gave me no pause, no doubt. Let me finish. I was proud to stand there, proud to make the case for 15.4 million jobs, proud to make the case for the CHIPS and Science Act, the industrial policy that was worker-centered, proud to make the case for an infrastructure package that actually delivered a real bill and is delivering real jobs all across this country. Proud to stand tall as he was a counter-prevailing point to President Xi and what they're doing in low-carbon green growth and how they're going to dominate the future as it relates to green energy. And he was a counter-prevailing point. I was proud of the fact that he supported 400 bipartisan bills. It did more for vets and has started to address the issue of gun violence. I was proud of that legislative package of accomplishments.
Violence was pretty high during Biden's administration. What is he talking about?
The one
He's filibustering right now.
As it relates to the interaction I had with him that gave me pause, one, was the fundraiser in Southern California. And all of us were a little taken aback, but we also were mindful that he had been to Europe twice in about a week. And for the grace of God, go any of us with jet lag and being exhausted.
So you say that because you didn't agree with the decision he made in regards of Southern California, that it was due to jet lag. When you are the president of the United States of America, your decisions are extremely criticized. Right or wrong, that's just part of the job. But you can't say, oh, I had jet lag. If Trump would have said, oh, I made a mistake on this one, jet lag, do you know what the news, what the media would do? We would be talking about this for months. This man gave him an excuse for having jet lag.
That person came back on that debate night. And that certainly gave all of us pause.
If it gave you pause after the debate, why didn't you sound the alarm then?
I did privately, we with grace and humility. He was going to make the right decision.
Wait. She asked him if he was concerned at all during the presidency of Biden's. He said no. He was fine. I just saw him a couple of months ago. But then after the debate with Trump, he did see something and he said something privately. So which one is it, Gavin? See what I mean? This guy is worse than a used cars salesman.
And so for me, it wasn't my job to go out there. My job was to give him the space. I just have a different, good people can disagree. I have a different approach to all of this. And I lost my
He's
father.
a bad liar.
I lost him right around election for governor. He survived just to see me elected. So many of the attributes of my father, I remember. He reminds me so much. I'll be candid with you. This is me speaking as a human being. Reminds me of Joe Biden.
We're all human beings.
He was going to make the right decision, and he did. The question is the timing, okay. But the bottom line, I was proud and continue to be proud to make a case for his record, and certainly in contrast to the record of this president.
Governor, did you legitimately believe that he was capable of serving as president until January of 2029?
Yeah, I think my focus was frankly situational. It was making sure Donald Trump didn't get back into office to experience everything.
Family and friends, you heard him. He did not care what kind of mental state Biden was in. Didn't care at all. All he wanted was Trump not winning, which means he does not care about the United States of America. All he cares about is, because he have Trump derangement syndrome, is to not let Trump win, which means he didn't care if this person was damn near a vegetable, or as long as it's not Trump. What is wrong with this guy? This is the Democratic Party
that we're experiencing today, and there was no interaction I had that suggested otherwise.
What do you say to Americans who feel misled by you and other top
Democrats? In what respect? He decided to step down.
About the mental acuity of President Biden, that they wish you'd sounded the alarm sooner to give way for an open convention?
I'm not going to substitute myself for someone else.
What?
Popular opinion. I'm going to express my relationship to my truth with the former president of the United States, including at the end of his term, quite literally in December, which was a masterclass of foreign policy.
Why do people say my truth? It's only the truth. The truth is objective. It's not subjective. If it was subjective, then no one would ever be wrong. Murderers can say, well, my truth, this guy, he was attacking me, even though he wasn't. Like, that irks me, my truth.
Domestic policy, which I will never forget as we walk through not just the election, but we're walking through the world we're living in. There was nothing to suggest what you just said or others have suggested in terms of my interaction. That's all I can be accountable for.
He's not, oh my God, he's not making any sense. He literally said a few minutes ago, after the one-on-one debate with Trump, he saw something and he said something to him privately. Now he's saying, oh, I've never seen anything. What the hell? This is almost a 50-minute interview he did, and he contradicted himself so many times. I'm sorry, I couldn't fit everything in this video, but Jesus.
Let's talk about former Vice President Kamala Harris. She says she lost because she only had 107 days to run, among some other factors. In your view, why do you think she lost the 2024 race?
It's a deeper forensic. I think I'm up to 26 pages of other public people's opinions on it. I'm not even making that up. By the way, it's, I think, actually 24, to be fair. Let me not overstate it. And there's all kinds of theories. I mean, we can go, you want to go through the list? We'll need an extra hour.
What do you think was at the top of the list?
I don't know. I'm reflecting on it. I think time.
She was incompetent. She drinks a lot. She was not fit for the job. She shouldn't even been vice president. Um, she was extremely disrespectful and rude to her employees. That's why her turnover rate was high as hell. She was horrible when she was a prosecutor. She's just not fit for the job, and people saw through it. She can't even go through an interview for an hour. She didn't want to do Joe Rogan's interview like Trump did because she was terrified of having a real conversation. She's not authentic. I don't know what else to tell you. Well, that's pretty much all.
We'll have a more of an understanding. We can start with inflation. We can talk with interest rates. We don't talk about interest rates enough. We can talk about incumbency. We can talk about Israel. We can talk about immigration and the border. We can go through a myriad of lists. We can talk about Joe Rogan. We can talk about woke. We can talk about.
She's just ranting on. We'll watch another clip. This guy.
Well, to that point, you've gone so far as to question whether the United States will have elections in 2028. What exactly are you basing that on? What would that look like?
When you send masked men, secret police, to the Democracy Center, when we kick off a campaign, that's in response to election rigging along the lines of the 12,000 votes he was looking for in Georgia, along the lines of the democracy he tried to wreck and light on fire after January 6th, along the lines of his own assertions, actions, and the fact that now he's federalizing and militarizing American streets with the United States military. I think he starts to stack these things up, and it leaves a breadcrumb trail.
That doesn't make any sense. The man is locking up. He's so dumb. The people that are experiencing the National Guards in their city, they're actually being saved because they're taking criminals off the streets. Neighborhoods are safe. Washington, D.C. is safe, way safer than before. Memphis is starting to look safer. Many people on TikTok, Instagram, X are all saying how safe Memphis is becoming because of Trump. So what people, and these are black people, by the way, that are saying how much they appreciate Trump doing this. And they were skeptical at first with it, but now they're loving it. So how all these people being disappeared? What are the aliens going in outer space? Like, come on. Oh, he's just so dumb.
Governor Gavin Newsom, welcome back to Meet the Press.
Good to be back with you.
It is wonderful to have you here. I want to start off by talking about the problems facing the Democratic Party right now. Democrats are out of power in Washington. Republicans control the White House and both chambers of Congress. Democrats have been described as lost in the wilderness. Do you believe the Democratic brand is damaged right now?
Not right now. 4 months ago, if you asked me that question, I would have been struggling to find positive signs of the party. I feel it's completely
He's delusional.
I feel like we're on the precipice of a remarkable moment on November 4th. And not only where I'm confident we're going to win here with Proposition 50, but you're going to have two new remarkable governors
He's
in
not.
Virginia and New Jersey. You're going to have a dynamic young mayor, regardless of where you are on the political spectrum, that ran an extraordinary and exceptional campaign that galvanized people that frankly have been disenfranchised from politics. And we've got leaders now that have a united front and a message that's breaking through on healthcare with Schumer's and Jeffries that give me real confidence that the Democratic Party is on its ascendancy, and November 4th will be a pivotal moment marking a new frame, new energy for our party.
We're going to talk about each of those issues that you just mentioned, but it sounds like you're predicting a big night for Democrats on November 4th.
I am, and for obvious reasons. I mean, this is a historically unpopular president. His policies are even more unpopular than the president himself. In every core category, he's underwater, and he's a guy who promised to make us wealthier and healthier. We're poorer and sicker. Across the board, people are starting to realize that not only is our coffee more expensive, their beef is more expensive, but the cost of an automobile is more expensive since he
This guy is just lies, lies, lies. Inflation was at like 9%. If inflation was so damn high under Biden, crime was high under Biden. We had at least 12 to 20 million people that were illegally in the United States because of Biden. Look at the cities of Chicago and New York. They are going to go bankrupt. Denver is about to suffer the same fate. That's because they are sanctuary cities and they infested these poor people that are citizens of those cities who keep voting Democrat. They infested them with illegal immigrants. And a lot of them are criminals, and a lot of them are taking all the resources. This guy is so disingenuous. It's sad. He does such a bad job in his interviews that I don't even know who's gonna vote for him, other than the people in California, I would say. But other than that, even people in California are all saying vote no to his proposition. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you agree with Kevin, disagree with Kevin. If you agree or disagree with me in the comments, like, subscribe. I appreciate you for watching. See you next time. Peace.